Good day, everyone. I am Dr. Arvin A. Andakaw, Physical Education Program Head of the Davao Oriental State University and President of the Committee of Program Heads for Physical Education in the Davao Region, Philippines. Our study is entitled Mediating Effect of Happiness between Health Consciousness and Physical Activity Attitude among College Students. Given the COVID-19 pandemic today, the preponderance of physical activity attitude is the main issue among students in the universities and colleges of the Davao Region, Philippines. Countless indicators that beset physical activity were lockdowns, lack of motivation, lifestyles, mental health problems, lack of physical activities, both curricular and co-curricular activities, smartphone addiction, and in educational inequalities. Meantime, an unhealthy lifestyles like physical inactivity and poor eating habits throughout their undergraduate schooling cause increased morbidity and mortality among students later in life. Mahmoud and Moen posited that sports and health courses must be required to change attitudes towards healthy diet and physical activity practice. Singh added that the attitude of physical education students relies on successful and satisfying participation in physical activity. Kai found out that physical activities and health knowledge may have a more positive attitude towards students. Further, a previous study found that health consciousness through healthy life goals and perceived behavioral control influenced home-based exercises. Thus, the authors attempted to identify the parsimonious model of physical activity attitude of the students in higher education institutions with health consciousness and happiness as predicted variables. The objectives of the study are to decide the relationship between health consciousness and physical activity attitude, health consciousness and happiness and physical activity attitude. Also, this study determined the mediating effect of happiness between health consciousness and physical activity attitude of students in the Davao Region, Philippines. The null hypotheses were formulated from objectives such as there is no relationship between health consciousness and physical activity attitude, health consciousness and happiness and physical activity attitude. There is also no mediating effect of happiness between health consciousness and physical activity attitude of students in the Davao Region, Philippines. The hypothesized model shows health consciousness and happiness as the exogenous variables, while physical activity is the endogenous variable of the study. The hypothesized model further displays that health consciousness indicates the direct and indirect effect on physical activity attitude. It also shows that happiness is placed between the two latent variables as mediating effect and direct effect to the physical activity attitude of the students. The causal correlation design was employed. A total of 3,520 students participated in the survey coming from 11 higher education institutions in the Davao Region, Philippines, using simple random sampling. 3 survey questionnaires were utilized, such as the Oxford Happiness Questionnaire, Health Consciousness Questionnaire, and Youth Physical Activity Attitude Scale. Before the survey, We first obtained the internal consistency of the questionnaires through Cronbach's alpha, yielding with 83%, 82%, and 70% respectively. All are described as good and acceptable tools after removing item number 2 of the latter tool. The gathered data were then analyzed using confirmatory factor analysis or CFA, path analysis, and structural equation modeling or SEM using SPSS version 23 and AMOS software. The results of the study upon CFA running the data for the hypothesized model is shown in figure 1. It clearly shows that the three indicators are grouped in the happiness variable, while indicators for health consciousness and physical activity attitude of the students were identified already. The results further show that all indicators presented herein are not well represented by the required values based on the SEM criteria. Here et al. Considered to remove the items that do not have factor loadings more than 0.50. Second, items with a value of more than 2 will be dropped in standardized residual covariance. And lastly, items with a value greater than 20 must be dropped in the modification index. Since the hypothesized model did not meet the required threshold values, a race specification of that model was generated. The three observed variables with loadings below 0.50 were removed. Then, drawing covariance with a double-headed arrow for error 6 and error 9 was connected. The results was the modified model of the study. Table 1 presents the fit indices for the hypothesized and modified model. As you can see the results, the modified model satisfied the goodness of fit indices such as the GFI with 0.994, the RMCA which is 0.050, the NFI, the CFI, the TLI, even the incremental fit indices, and the parsimonious fit indices or the PCFI and PNFI. Looking at the paths between latent and observed variable is significant. Hence, the modified model is the parsimonious model of the study. Presented in Table 2 is the regression weights, which indicate the amount of change in the endogenous variable. It shows that health consciousness had 68% association with happiness. Happiness obtained 7% association to physical activity attitude. And health consciousness observed with 30% regression weights to physical activity attitude of the college students. Hence, all hypotheses are hereby rejected. Figure 3 exhibited the serial mediating effect of happiness with the process mediation model. Results indicated that health consciousness has a significant direct effect on happiness with 0.402. Happiness has significant direct effect on physical activity with 0.058, whereas health consciousness has a significant direct effect on physical activity attitude with 0.200. The total effect of health consciousness on physical activity attitude is significant, yielding with 0.224. The total indirect effect, which is the difference of the total and direct effects of health consciousness through happiness on physical activity attitude, is statistically significant with 0.023. Here is the table for the serial mediating effect of happiness using 10,000 bootstraps at 95% bias corrected and accelerated confidence interval, all of which are observed below the p-values. Based from the findings of the study, there is a relationship between health consciousness and physical activity attitude, a correlation between health consciousness and happiness, as well as a direct relationship between happiness and physical activity attitude. Happiness plays a crucial role in facilitating the causal relationship between health consciousness towards physical activity attitude. To motivate students in developing a positive attitude toward physical activity, teachers and school administrators seriously look into providing mechanisms to elevate the level of happiness, not just emphasizing health consciousness. In other words, a student who is happy and health conscious will most likely develop a positive attitude towards physical activity. These are the references of the study. That would be all. Thank you.